What's up guys and gals, it is I, once again, Mr. Gamer 990, and it's been a long time guys and gals, but finally yours truly wants to review and talk about Dead Space 3, which is on the PS3 and was developed by Visceral Games and published by Electronic Arts, also known as EA, a video game company who aren't so popular right now, especially after they shut down many video game companies, including Visceral Games, which is very sad because we're never going to get a Dead Space 4 now. But this game, Dead Space 3, yours truly has played, loved, and while this game is not perfect, far from it, this game does excel in terms of gameplay, in terms of the reward you get, the sense of accomplishment you achieve when fighting these enemies, combating them, and overcoming the difficulty of this game, Dead Space 3. The story is quite mediocre, minus the ending, which is quite good, quite poignant and quite emotional and very heartfelt too, even though the story is quite unfocused and has no sense of direction, because the story, guys, is possibly the worst aspect of this game for me personally, because I love the characters, I love the stories, especially the stories of these characters, specifically Dr. Isaac Clarke, Ellie Langford, his beloved girlfriend, before they split apart because of Isaac Clarke's trauma, and how all the trauma he has suffered up to this point has made him very inept in talking with people, especially the woman he loves so much, and because of this they split apart, or rather Ellie Langford chose to leave him and go with this other man, a man who is quite a dick to be honest, and this man, guys, is an absolute scumbag. His name is Captain Robert Norton. I'll get into these three later, but this game and the story it tells is quite mediocre and nowhere near as good as the first two games, especially the second game, because the second game was basically a dark odyssey for Dr. Isaac Clarke. Isaac Clarke, who has suffered so much, especially after the death of his beloved wife Nicole, and because of Nicole's death and Isaac Clarke trying to overcome his trauma and going through the same horror from the first game, it's very sad to see, but in the end he was able to overcome his trauma, essentially letting go of his beloved wife and able to move forward with Ellie Langford. And these two guys are so cute, they're so adorable together until Ellie Langford chose to leave him, understandably so, because Isaac Clarke admits to himself that he is a coward, unable to move forward really and trying to overcome the trauma completely, even though it was established in the second game he has overcome his trauma and has endured the nightmare for the second time in the second game. But right now Dr. Isaac Clarke has to overcome the trauma for a third time. This time, however, it's going to test his spirit, his will, and tenacity to survive at all costs, especially for the woman he loves, that being Ellie Langford. That is, of course, if they did not have a thorn on their side, the thorn being Captain Robert Norton, because Norton, like yours truly has mentioned, is a huge dick. He has no soul, no humanity, and all he cares about is Ellie Langford, who he's currently with. I have no idea why women choose men like this, but I guess women have their taste in men, even though their taste is quite questionable, but whatever. Ellie Langford and Dr. Isaac Clarke want to be together, but her relationship with Norton, the asshole Norton, is making it very difficult, especially for Isaac Clarke, who wants to be with her, redeem himself, and to show that he is not a coward. He does want to help people. It's just that after all he went through 2 times in 2 games, it's very hard to get through, guys. And as someone who's overcome his own trauma and someone who still lives through nightmares of past experiences, which is quite horrible and something yours truly does not want to share with you guys and gals for fear it might be too disturbing, but the basic story of Dead Space 3 basically has Ellie Langford, Robert Norton, and John Carver. John Carver is a player playable character in this game. He's actually the second playable character who you guys and gals, if you're playing alongside friends, can play together cooperative mode as Dr. Isaac Clarke and Sergeant John Carver. Alongside these characters, we also have Jennifer Santos. Jennifer Santos is basically the analyst for the group as they go into Dead Space, hence the title of the game, and trying to find this codex, a codex which basically they need to unlock the truth about the marker which basically summons the demons, the monsters, the creatures from the previous two games. These creatures are known as necromorphs, and the necromorphs have come back because of this one psychotic man. This psychotic man is Professor Danik. I don't know his full name, but his name is basically Professor Danik, and this man is so delusional and completely insane. This man brought back all the necromorphs because he sees mankind as a disease who are killing each other, and something has to be done to change this and to make sure that mankind preserves and to ensure our survival without conflict, without hatred, discrimination, or whatever. Let me get this straight, guys and gals. Professor Danik is trying to cure mankind by summoning the necromorphs, which essentially kills many people, innocent people, mind you. It's so stupid and just so insane. This man is clearly psychotic, and Professor Danik is a huge dick alongside Robert Norton, both of who I hate so much. When it comes to Ellie Langford and Dr. Isaac Clarke, however, I adore these two so much, and I also love John Carver, Sergeant John Carver, who is so cool, so badass, and someone yours truly can call a real man who is your brother in arm, and someone who is going to help you until the very end. John Carver is awesome, and he's my man. John Carver, Ellie Langford, Dr. Isaac Clarke, all three of them work together to ensure that the marker, which has now been awakened because of Professor Danik, is destroyed once and for all, and all humanity is preserved, and no harm comes to innocent lives. And these three guys are so awesome. I love Ellie, I love Isaac, and I love John. All three of them are so cool, and the voice actors who played them are really good. The story is quite mediocre, but the ending, guys, the ending is so emotional, so poignant, and just so heartwarming. That ending, guys, is perfect to end the series. And since Electronic Arts have shut down Visceral Games, a Dead Space 4 is no longer possible. But this game, guys, as imperfect as it may be, the third installment in the Dead Space series is the best way the series can end, and the stories of these characters can conclude, and all the knots are tied, and everything is done once and for all. This game, guys, is not perfect, but the actors who played their respective characters are really good. All of them do a good job playing their roles, especially Ellie Langford, John Carver, and Dr. Isaac Clarke. All three of them are the best characters in this game for me personally. Jennifer Santos is also played very well by her actress. Professor Danik and Captain Robert Norton, you guys and gals know how I feel about these two douchebags. Despite how well the actors played them, I really hate these characters with a passion, because these characters are the absolute disgrace of what real men should be. Honest, hard-working, good men who protect those they love. Such honest, hard-working, good men in John Carver and Dr. Isaac Clarke, two brothers, two comrades who fight together alongside Ellie Langford, a real woman. And these three guys are so awesome. I can't praise them enough. The gameplay is quite good, and the horror element, while it's not there entirely because this game is more focused on action rather than horror, but this game is still quite scary and quite creepy at times, which can be attributed to the setting and atmosphere, both of which is really good. Dead Space 3 is a game I do recommend you guys and gals do play. Dead Space 3 is nowhere near as good as the first two games, but it's still a very good game in my opinion. Thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please like, comment, subscribe if you wish, and if you want to see more from me, then please do check out my other channel where I talk about movies, television, anime, etc. Until next time, peace out, take care, adios amigos, au revoir, and sayonara.